Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on that button. As you can see, today I'm going to be doing a little cooking and I'm really excited because a lot of people have been asking me for my recipe, at least my family members and friends, because I always make this. So today I'm going to be making some vegan tacos. Well, we'll say vegetarian. Okay, so for the meat, I'm going to be using soy chorizo from Trader Joe's, which is not too spicy. And I'll be using some beans as well. So let me just turn this thing on. This is the first time I've ever used this, so we will see. I also have a little dessert here from a bakery in my town called the Butterwood? Yeah, the Butterwood Consortium. And it is a beautiful place where you can get vegan pastries, mostly cake. They had peach cobbler, which I couldn't get because it was sold out. And they have tea, and it's a beautiful place. Like, it's gorgeous. So please don't mind all this smoke. It's just because there's water, a little bit of water on the bottom of the pan. Ooh. Yeah. So today, along with me cooking, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a show that I've been watching, which is called Squid Game. We've all been watching it. Everybody's like obsessed with it. And I finally watched it. And I just had to, talk to you guys about, my thoughts about the show. So I use flaxseed oil for cooking. It's really good for a lot of different things, but it has a high heat tolerance. So just put a little bit of that there. I put like a teaspoon of that in there. So yeah, the Squid Game show, Squid Game. It's so funny because my kids play Roblox and they even know what the Squid Game is now because they saw it on Roblox. So now that this is getting hot, the first thing I like to do is take some of the meat and put some of the meat in. So I'm only going to use like 2 inches of it or so. Put that in the pan. So yeah, so everybody was like, first of all, I love foreign films, but everybody online was like talking about Squid Game, like over and over again. And I'm like, okay. All right, so that's getting hot. So let me just put my other stuff in now. Rice, I do rice, brown rice. And then beans. I just put all that in there together. Now let's turn this down. And basically you can just see it's all just mixed in the pan there. I'll be back. I have to go get a thing of water. Okay, so take some water and just pour it in the pan. So basically, I'm only going to be talking about Squid Game for people who've already seen it. There's a fly flying around here and I will catch it. But right now, I'm just letting him live his life. Because my living room and my kitchen are really big, and like seriously, when I have to chase flies, I'm chasing them all day because they're going from my living room to my kitchen, and it's just so annoying. Anyways, okay. So some of the seasonings that I put in, I use this Trader Joe's taco mix. Put some of that. And I also like to use this Kinder's taco blend. I've just been using this. It's not the healthiest seasoning to use. It's really not good to be using, but it's okay for today. Because I'm only going to use a little bit. Use a little bit of that. A stir. And basically what you're making is just like a mixture that is going to serve as like the meat of the taco. And you can put lettuce, guacamole, whatever you want to put on top of this. But when you're making tacos, it doesn't make sense to just keep everything separate. Like the beans, the rice, the meat. I'm telling you, trust me, it tastes so much better if you just mix that all together and season it and do it like that. So basically this is done. All you have to do is put your shells, your taco shells in the oven and let them get toasty. These are the ones that I use today. But I really want to eat dessert, so I'm only gonna, but let me put a little pinch of salt because there really was like 0 salt in those seasonings. Those seasonings were just the seasoning. It wasn't salt. And I hate when my food is bland. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, I've watched Squid Game 2 times now. And like, I'm gonna watch it a 3rd time. Like, I really love that show. It's a really, really good series. Well, it's a season 1. I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2, but we'll, more than likely there is. It needs salt for food to be really like enjoyable. There's some garlic pepper, some garlic powder. But yeah, so when I'm stoned or just tired and lazy, even my children like to eat this. We get this going in the pan and heat up some tortilla shells, and that's dinner. So I'm just gonna have one just to taste it because I really, really don't want too much food on my stomach before I eat this dessert. I'm just gonna take one shell. So, like, the basic premise of the show is there's this game, and if you join the game, you can win money, of course, like gambling, like. And at first I was mad that the stuff was happening to these people, but then I had to keep remembering that they signed a waiver because they wanted to increase their finances and they wanted to win, obviously. I just have some cabbage here that I'm using because I don't have lettuce and I just want something crunchy. Let's see. Bon appetit. Pretty good. And basically you could just make this with leftovers. If you have a can of beans in the refrigerator, in the cupboard, if you have some rice that was left over from a takeout, you could use that and make you a taco out of it. Maybe chop up some peppers, you know, some onions, all that. Mmm. So I changed my mind. I do want to give away some spoilers because it's just funner that way. So the one person who scared me the most was that guy who got the lighter from the lady in the sugar honeycomb episode. He legit scared me. The lady with the cigarette up her vagina. She was so funny. Like, I really liked her character. There were a few things that, like, didn't make sense to me. Like, for one, how did the cop get away with hiding in plain sight, basically, and nobody ever figured out, you know, that it was him, even though he had no clue what his activities were supposed to be during the day? He didn't know what he was supposed to be doing or any of that. So I didn't really like that part. Like, it just wasn't realistic for them to be so meticulous with everything. He's just wandering around breaking rules, not showing up to work at the time he was supposed to, and nobody realizes that. You know, I mean, I guess it takes some time to realize it, but man, that show is deep. That show is deep. It's like what life would be like if we had no water, or if there was like some crazy natural disaster and it was like everybody for themselves. That's what it kind of shows you with people's humanity. Like, whenever at the end, when the man tricked them with the marbles and switched the marbles and stuff, that's showing you human nature. And that was fucked up. That was fucked up, man. I'm sorry, I don't remember none of their names, man. I'm sorry. Like, I should have wrote all this down. Like, I'll probably do another video and talk about the Squid Game more, but write everything down so that I can, like, this fucking fly. Write everything down so that I can remember their names, so I could talk to you more intelligently. But I really don't have time to be sitting down studying the Squid Game. Like, I'm just telling you, man, there was some fucked up shit that happened in that show. That show was crazy. And I just was reading a book on North Korea, which was so crazy because the one girl who got stabbed by the glass in her stomach, she was from North Korea. And in the book that I'm reading about North Korea, the guy ends up defecting and leaving North Korea too. But he talks in the story extensively about how there were so many people who were not lucky and they got dragged back to North Korea and they were persecuted, which means they were killed. So it's like the contrast between North Korea and South Korea, you can kind of see it in the show that she came from a country where she didn't have no rights at all. And in North Korea where you don't have any rights, you can go to jail for just speaking out against the leader. In South Korea, it's not like that anymore. They have more freedom. They can watch different things on TV, so that's one thing. Like, people in North Korea definitely were not allowed to watch Squid Game. People in North Korea probably don't even know there's a show that exists called Squid Game. But people in South Korea know that's a thing. North Korea is like no outside books, no outside media, no outside anything. Very militaristic. At a young age, they're sent to war. Not to war, but to the military to train. So, the fact that in the show, the lead character, he was gambling at a racetrack. There is none of that in North Korea. But in South Korea, there is. So, that was one thing that I enjoyed about the show, was getting to see, like, these neighbors, how different they live their lives based on what the government allows. Now, people may wonder why so many people in the show decided to play the game. But in a lot of Asian cultures, they care more about what their family thinks. They care more about what their ancestors think, what their parents think. And it's more important for them to be able to take care of their family. They want to take care of their family. Not only that, if they don't take care of their family, many times they're viewed as a disappointment to the family. Which kind of makes sense. Like, if your parents spend their whole life taking care of you, of course they would expect that when they're old and they can't take care of themselves, that you're going to take care of them. I'm not eating no more of these. These are bomb. But I'm not eating no more of these because they're very unhealthy. But yeah, so I think a lot of people didn't realize that, like, when the players were asked, like, do you want to keep going? And many of them said they wanted to keep going. That to them was their only chance to really, like, make it in the world. Like, once you get in debt, they're already living in a city that's overpopulated, in a country that's way overpopulated. But once you get in debt, it's very hard to get out, because now you're working to make wages for a job that is only paying you minimal wage. And we all experience that, even in America. But I think in North Korea and South Korea is different, because their lives are on the line, literally on the line. Like, they have so much competition in their country that if they're not the best, they risk starving and disappointing their family to the utmost. So I like that part of the movie where she kind of talked about how she wanted to go to Jeju Island and how she wanted to get a home for her brother. That's all she wanted. In North Korea, they probably would have sent her to a work camp because she, didn't have a wealthy family. You can get sent to a work camp for just such small reasons in North Korea. And sometimes they send you just because they sent your family. They'll send you because your mom did something or your dad did something. Even if they're in another country, if you're related to Japanese people, like there's so many reasons why in North Korea you can be punished. And they do mass executions where in front of everyone, they will literally hang you or shoot you to death. And the show is a depiction of that because every single one of those people were poor, were destitute, were in a bad situation. But as I said, you could gamble in South Korea, but you damn sure won't be gambling in North Korea. And you damn sure won't be watching Squid Game in North Korea either. So that is, I guess that's some information that people might need to see. Need to know or want to know. Okay, so finally it's time for my dessert. So, like I said, I got this cake from the Butterwood Consortium in Pittsburgh. Orange blossom and fig buttercream. I don't know if you can see it. I want to take it out. It melted a little bit when I was in my car. It has a fig buttercream and it has an orange poppy seed cake. See? It looks so good. So, oh my gosh. Yum. Nah, it ain't hitting. It ain't hitting like I thought it would. Why do you keep eating it if it's not good? It grows on you, but it doesn't have a lot of flavor. I don't taste orange, and I definitely don't taste fig. I taste sugar. I taste some type of oil, like coconut oil. That's it. I taste sugar and like olive oil. But I'm gonna eat it anyways because it tastes just good enough. because the aftertaste is really pleasant. And I thought it was really sad, like extremely sad, when Ali realized that Sun Woo, I think his name was, had switched the marbles. Like that was extremely messed up. That was really messed up. And when the lady with the cigarettes was like, yeah, this guy knows about it, the missing link. I was cracking up because she had those men pissed. Like, they were all mad at her. Like, they did not like her. And my thing is you was quick to call it a B word. You was quick to say that you wish that you was going to slit her throat and everything else, but you sure did have sex with her. And that's what I don't like. Like, in life, like, women usually don't have sex with people who we don't like. But a man can have sex with somebody who he absolutely despises and completely put that smile on his face until he gets what he wants, and then gets what he wants and then walk away. I'm not saying all men. I'm saying that's something that men are known for doing. And that's exactly what he did. And he's calling her bees and saying that he wanted to kill her and stuff. And I'm just like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? I don't think I'm going to eat the icing anymore. The icing is not that. It's literally just sugar. But I like the cake part because I like poppy seeds. But I guess she really got her feelings hurt because she ended up killing him. But like, I was cracking up when he was like, let me go, you goddamn bitch, get off of me, please get off of me. That was funny. That was funny. Especially after he murdered that lady in her sleep like that. I was cracking up when she went up there and grabbed him. And then they said the writer of Squid Games got his story rejected for 10 years. In the middle of him writing a story for Squid Games, he had to sell his computer in order to pay bills, and people still were not believing in his story, Squid Game. And now look, I'm sorry, that's one of the best shows that have came out in a long time, because it hits on so many different levels of human nature. Like, the reality of human nature is literally like watching a human experience right in front of your face, because exactly what happens in that show is exactly what happened in real life if they did something like that. Like, people would become cutthroat. There are some people who would just cry in the corner and say, please stop this all, let's give up. There are some people who will become smart and fast and strong, like when she pulled that glass out of her stomach and she was just sitting there chilling. You know what I mean? There's so many things that show hits on. And not only that, it was easy to watch. I'm sorry, people keep talking about how much the Game of Thrones is this amazing show. I don't have that much time to be watching the Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. Like, every time I start watching that show, it takes so long to get into the story of what's actually happening that I don't have time to sit there and watch that. But the Squid Games is fun, quick, easy, to the point, short, sweet episodes, and then the episode is over. So I really like that show. I can't wait. If there's another season, I'm gonna freaking lose it. If there's another season, like, I'm going to lose my mind. Um, and not only me, there's gonna be a lot of people who lose their mind because that show was good. Like, I can't even lie, that show was good. Yeah, but the rest of their cakes are usually good. That just didn't have any flavor to me. I don't know why they called it orange poppy seed because it did not taste like orange at all. Not at all. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If you made it to the video this long, put some red heart emojis in the comment box. I'm going to be posting more videos, doing more recipes, and just trying to come up with some fun things that you may want to watch and some fun things to talk about. But if you haven't watched Squid Game, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's really worth, just the time. If you watch the first episode, you'll be hooked. So I'm just saying, give it a try and see what you think. Anyways, I'm gonna head off and get all this stuff cleaned up. So you guys take care, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.